I'm live again. All clean and shiny for you. Got the comb over going. Got my shower. Mowed the pop's yard. Still got a little bit of time left. So I got to use it wisely. I mean, we have to really do what we can when we can for humanity. I think that's always been really my message from the very beginning is I guess where do we want humanity to go, folks? Where Okay, first let's establish a couple things here. We're discussing America. And sometimes I forget I've been, like I said, been messing with the far left quite a bit. You deplorables say we're all the far left. No, you don't know the far left's out there. There's not as many of them as there are of you right now. But yeah, they're around. So I dip a toe over there now too because I know it's only logical to assume that after a drastic swing to the right, it's going to come swinging back to the left. So we're going to have to deal with the commies out there, the pure socialists out there that think that we should, since them deplorables went all the way right, then we have the right to come all the way back left again. No, we can't do that. Extreme is not good, okay? I want to establish that basic notion about extremes. What made this so easy for me to see is because I understand extremes. I understand political extremes. I understand human extremes. I understand the difference between black and white and gray. Okay? There are very few absolutely bad things. There are very few absolutely good things. Most things exist in the gray, in the middle. That's where most of the truth is found, folks, in the gray area. That's why I'm not an extreme liberal. I'm not an extreme conservative. I am I'm about as moderate as people come. Now, don't get me wrong. I can pretend like I'm over here on the left and I can pretend like I'm over here on the right. And you guys all have seen that. I can be anything in the political spectrum that you need me to be. But what I really am is right down the fucking middle. When I need to be conservative, that's what I am. When I need to be liberal, that's what I am. And I think that that is America's righteous notion. Okay, from its very beginning, our forefathers attempted to keep extremes out. Okay, that's why they didn't make you serve in the military. They gave you the option to. They created a social program that allowed you to serve your country. You don't have to. Most other countries, you have to. I mean, you don't have a choice. Rome, England, you go all the way around the world. All the communist states, you are required to go serve your country. It doesn't matter. They don't give a shit if you want to or if you like to or what your inclination is. You must go serve. America decided that that's pretty extreme, so not everybody has that mentality or whatever. So we don't do that extreme. Same thing with religious extreme. We understood how religion tends to get extreme, especially on the conservative end. On the conservative end, I mean, conservatives are notoriously known for using their conservative religion to stop the progression of humanity. It happens over and over and over again. I mean, conservative religion is what killed Jesus in the first fucking place. That's just fact. It's historical fact. It's the closest to the truth that we know. Conservative religion killed Jesus. And now you guys are coming back around and you're making Jesus seem like he's the conservative religion. He got killed by some conservative motherfuckers. What are you guys doing? Anyway, that's a tangent. Let's stay focused on the gray. The gray area, where you're going to find the vast majority of your truth. Even let's take murder for example. A murder, one of the things that most people are going to tell you is the bad. That's bad. It's bad to kill somebody. But there's even times when homicide is justifiable. If you're defending yourself, somebody's trying to kill you, it's justifiable to stop them from killing you, up to and including killing them. It's reasonable. It's not all the way good, but it's not all the way bad either. You get where I'm coming from here, folks? Different circumstances tell you whether things are good or bad in almost all cases. So we have to figure out a way to find out what's true in every circumstance. I know that's a tough thing to do. And I understand that it's a complex thing. That's why most people don't want to engage in the political process, because the political process will eat you up inside, because you're trying to find what's true. You can't just go with what sounds good or what is good for you. We can't do that in America. In America, we have to do what's best for everyone. It's a tough road. There's no denying that, folks. That is the essence of why people look up to America so much, is because of our ideals. Not always how we act. We always make mistakes. We always fuck up. We always have to get better. But our ideals are righteous. What we are endeavoring to do is righteous. Of course, it's going to be tough and people are going to get in the way, and selfishness and greed and all these things are going to trip us up along our way. But we always have to come back on course and try to endeavor to form a more perfect union. That's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. Form a more perfect union for humanity, for everyone. Read the Constitution, guys. It's right there. And they give us a blueprint for it. That's what the Constitution is. It's a blueprint that's trying to guide us to this righteous notion to form a more perfect union. All men are created equal. These righteous notions that lead us through the world as Americans. Same thing goes for Christians. Christians have the same thing. Christians have this personification of Jesus that helps them guide themselves through life in a righteous manner, as righteous as they possibly can be. Now, along the way, we're going to find some conservative ideals, some things that are tried and true. Respect your elders, the golden rule, these kind of conservative ideals that, do unto others as you would have done unto you. That is a righteous conservative ideal that's been around since Jesus was around. And same with, honor thy mother and father. That's something that you should probably do. Don't kill. Don't steal. Don't covet other people's property. These kind of righteous conservative notions should keep us rooted and keep us grounded. And we should guide ourselves individually by these righteous notions. I think it's a good message. Jesus is a righteous message for individuals. But America is not run by Jesus, folks. We can't let Jesus run America. Because I've already established that Jesus was killed by conservative religion, and now Jesus has become the conservative religion in this country. All of a sudden now everybody, they killed Jesus because he wouldn't be like them. And now everybody that's Christian wants to get rid of people that aren't like them. You see where I'm coming from? You understand now? Now, let that sink in for a second. Lay down. Let that sink in for a little bit. He's just dumb. I love him, but he's dumb. It's like he knows that I'm on here and he just wants to clippy clop around. Lay down, Hawkeye. He's going to start barking here pretty soon. You watch. The wind's going to blow and he's just going to start barking. He don't care. He don't even care. Anyway. Back to more important things. The clippy cloppy, that just gets in my head. I don't know. Maybe I notice things too much. Maybe things just mess with me too much. Perhaps I am on edge. Perhaps I am a loony liberal on the edge. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, let's say that I am right. Okay? And evil forces from the right wing are taking over America right now. And they're evil. And they're bad. And they're trying to beat down us liberals. How long do you think it's going to take before us liberals get fucking crazy about it? How long do you think that's going to take? Because sure, we're not prone to that behavior. We're not, as a rule, we're not aggressive. We don't want to fight. We want to figure things out, right? But eventually, it's going to get to the point where we're just as fucking outside our minds as you are. And that's what you want, huh? That's what the evil forces want. The evil forces want to make you evil too. They want you to get nasty. Now, me personally, like I've said before, I'm already pretty sure that I've got a one-way ticket to hell. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. I'm on my way. I'm willing to sacrifice my soul to fight evil. I'm willing to get evil to fight evil. I'm willing. They want to talk about how, they're the righteous soldiers and warriors for Jesus. What if I am? What if I'm the true righteous Christian soldier? And I really do have Jesus on my side. What then? What if you're wrong? Have you ever stopped to think about what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong about all of this? Have you ever actually stopped to think? Because I have. I spend a lot of time working on self-awareness. I'm my biggest critic. You can't even begin to question me like I question myself. You have no idea. Your critique of me, sure, I'll be honest, yeah, sure, it hurts my feelings a little bit sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, it does. I'm human. I don't want people to hate me. But do you really think that you can hate me as much as I've hated myself? Sometimes I still do hate myself. Do you guys honestly think that you can hate me more than I can hate myself? It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's not even fun, really, anymore. You know, I used to take a lot of joy in the trash talking and hearing what everybody wanted to say about me and think about me, which is fine. It's all good. But now it's to the point it's just noise. Yes, I've been a lot of bad things in my life. We all have. We've all been bad. I think it's time that we stand up and start trying to be good, trying to endeavor to make sure this world is a better place for our children. I've reached that point in my life. Actually, I reached that point in my life a long time ago. When my children got here, before my children got here. Yeah, sure, I still was not the best person in the world. But I always had good inside of me. That's like I tell you, I'm an old guy trying to get back into heaven. My devil played. He already earned his ticket to hell. Now we're going to see if we can trade that ticket in for a ticket to heaven. And that's where I'm at in my life. And I wonder how long it's going to be until you guys get there in your life. Or are you ever going to get there in your life? Are you just destined to be a dick for the rest of your life? For the longest time, I thought I was. I thought I was destined to be a dick for the rest of my life. That's what everybody told me. That's what, hey man, that sounds right to me. But then I got to a point and realized, you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to do the best that I can do. I'm going to do what I do best. And that's when I started doing what I do. But we're off on a tangent again, which happens sometimes, especially with me. I told myself while I was mowing Pop's yard and doing all the things I had to do, I knew I was going to come back here and try this again. I told myself that I wanted to be more open about myself. Okay. I understand when you see these things, you start to think, you know, who the fuck does this guy think he is? And I can understand that. I understand where you would be saying, who the fuck does Lance think he is? Well, Lance, I think that I'm a very flawed human being. I've been through the mill. I've had some struggles. I've had some pain. I've had some heartache and sorrow. I've done some horrible things. And that is what's gotten me to the point where I don't want to do that no more. I want to give people the best of me. So that's what I do. That's who I think I am. I don't need to feel superior to anyone because I'm not. I may be wittier than some and funnier than some and smarter than some and perhaps even cuter and more athletic and have a better personality. You get my point. The point is that, yeah, I got good qualities, but I know that I'm bad too. And my question is do you guys ever think about your bad? Ever? Do you ever stop and think, you know what? How I treated that person wasn't so good? Do the Karens out there ever stop to think that they're fucking Karens? Or do they have to pretend that being Karen's cool? Is there any self-awareness anymore? Do you ever look in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what? You were a dick today. You were an asshole, man. You were selfish. You were greedy. Whatever. Does anybody do that anymore? Because I know I do. I know I continue to do that every day. I try to take steps to make myself better every day. How I treat people, how I appreciate things, how I make sure that I'm doing my best in given circumstances, how I stop allowing myself to have regret. Well, I should have said this or I should have done this. It's a lifelong process, folks. It's something that we have to continue to do for the rest of our lives. Get better. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. But yet we got a lot of people out there who want to pretend like they are. And yes, I am going to put myself above you. If you're out there treating people like shit and pretending like you're superior to everyone else, guess what I'm going to do to you? I'm going to put myself way above you. And I'm just going to keep shitting down on you until you realize that you're not as tough as you think. You're not as good as you think. You're not superior. Because of a foolish sense of superiority leads to a lot of other bad things. You don't have the right to treat people like they're less than you, inferior to you. You don't have that right. No matter what you think being American means, it does not include thinking that you're better than anyone else. You don't have that right. You have a right to bear arms. You have a right to be whatever religion you want. You have a right to petition and assemble. You have a right to free press, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but you do not have the right to pretend like you're better than anyone. Ever. In fact, America spits in the face of that notion. The notion of America spits in your selfish notion's face, in your superior notion's face. You don't get to pretend like you're better than anyone. Ever. Not in this country. And I think we've forgotten that. I think a lot of us have forgotten that. And that's the entitlement that pisses everybody else off about us. That's the entitlement that pisses a lot of us off about each other. Is that somehow in your brain you think that you're better than someone else. Because you're an American? Do you know how many people sacrificed so you could be an American? Do you remember that? Do you care to think about that ever? How many people toiled and struggled their whole lives, never had anything good their whole lives, but because of their lives, your life was a little bit easier? Did you ever stop to think about that? You want to sit here and tell me about veterans that have died. Have you ever actually thought about it? Have you ever actually thought about where we would be if some of these men did not go and willingly sacrifice their lives for this country? I mean, think about it. Not just on a petty, selfish, oh, look at me, I'm more American than everybody else level. I mean, seriously, think about it. Them men walked into certain death just to protect the notions that you spit in the face of every day. They sacrificed their lives to protect the pillars of America, and you want to chip them down and spit on them. Did you ever stop to think about that? Because I do. I do every day. I just don't know what else to say to you guys. I don't know what else to say. Now, I'm going to end this one for now, but I'm going to be back. So go ahead and keep this one in mind.